All right, so here we are again. Welcome everyone. This is Tucson chicken and cat yoga, not live, but coming to you from Tucson, Arizona, USA. It happens to be July 5th. I'm still hearing fireworks going off. And if you're new, I'm Carlos. This is Baby. That's Coco. That's Rita. And that's Becky. And Fauna is off somewhere. She'll be back. So the moon is just completely gloriously full. And we even had a lunar eclipse, a little partial eclipse last night. So we'll do a set of lunar asanas. And we do everything sort of backwards or with a yin aspect, or just try to do things differently when the moon is full. So instead of starting sitting up or standing up, we'll start laying back. And so I'm going to lay back and just relax. So we'll start the way we're going to end later in reverse order. Oh, there comes Bennu. Bennu's here now, if he'll come into camera view. So I'm going to start laying back and just relax. So take a deep breath and then hug your knees to your chest. Bring the arms out to one side, drop the knees to one side and the head to the other. And then knees to the other side, head to the other. So then I'm going to take my knees all the way over to the other side and just roll right up to sitting and sit cross-legged. So it's about 6 a.m. I think the moon has set, or I can't see it from here. But there's still people shooting off fireworks from last night, and there was a huge we can use the dhyana mudra when the moon is full and just meditate a little bit more here. So the arms are like a giant full moon. The right hand is in the left hand with the thumbs together. So this firework, this giant boom, upset the huge hawk that normally watches us. When we were preparing, there was a big hawk watching the chickens, and then that giant firework frightened it away. So we're safe now, but we'll listen for nature's cues. If the sparrows have a big commotion, usually the chickens will cue off of that, because their head's down in the dirt and they can only use their sense of hearing to warn them of danger right now, because they're too distracted. I heard somewhere that chickens will look at the ground with one eye and look at the sky with the other for predators. I don't know if that's true or not, but if I find out whether that's true, I'll let you know. Okay, so grasp your feet, inhale, sit up, and then exhale, fold over. If it looks like I'm extra stiff today, it is. My back is just destroyed, but I have no problems still practicing with you, because I find that yoga and Tai Chi in particular are very accommodating of injuries and illnesses. It's almost like they're designed to accommodate them. All right, let's slowly come up, go into our, well, first of all, this set is devoted to the lotus flower, and I'm not sitting in a actual lotus position, but it is reminiscent of a lotus position. So this is the first pose dedicated to the lotus flower. So if you've never done a set of moon asanas with us, they either have been named after the moon by the sages in ancient times, or we do goddess poses, or if there's a particularly yin aspect to a pose, we will do that. And another thing that gives a pose a lunar quality is a two-dimensional quality. So this is not two-dimensional, so this is not a good example. But instead of going straight forward, arching the back and straight back, rounding the back, we make more of a circular motion because a circle is more yin than a straight line. So I'm making more of a wave movement. Yeah, my back is just frozen up. But you can probably see, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So now there's tons of sparrows that are checking out what we're doing, which is always a good sign. You know that if you have cats, you're just not going to have any of the normal amount of birds in your yard. It's really sad. It's a trade-off. This one especially here, she's the bird hunter, and she's just gotten rid of so many birds in my yard. Not killed them, but just threatened them. And the same thing, you don't find nearly as many lizards or anything. Let's, if you feel that wave, that rolling movement, then roll it backwards. So that's Rita. Hey Rita, how you doing, girl? Come back, Rita. Let's see, we were going backwards. That's right. So chicken update. So they're all doing great now. Coco she's almost completely molted. That's why she looks terrible, but her color is good. Her comb is bright red, so she's healthy. She just looks like she has half of her feathers, which is natural. Becky was broody, and she's back to normal, laying regularly. Okay, so then that's enough of that one. So release your feet, lay your hands on your knees. We'll go around in a circle. Try to bring it into here. Remember we were saying that if I lay my hand on my abdomen, I can feel the abdomen working, but if it wasn't working, I cue those muscles by laying my hand on them. So it's a very effective method. And of course, some teachers go around and lay their hands all over your body, and that cues the muscles to do the right thing. I've never done that because there might be people who are uncomfortable with that, and just because you ask their permission doesn't mean they're even being sincere, because there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of peer pressure in a yoga class, so I don't even go there. And I also want people to develop their own practice and be able to practice without constant cueing. So remember, if I go with the arms overhead, the movement gets even smaller. So that's not a bad thing. If the movement diminishes here, that's just fine. It's all here, and here, and here. So So when the moon is full, we also practice some dantian rotation. Again, if my regulars understand this, if you're new, it's from a different tradition. It's from the Chinese tradition. There are the three dantians. The one that's most important, I guess, for movement is the lower dantian, which exists just below and behind the navel. You could imagine it as being the size of a grapefruit or an orange. And it's the originator of all movement. So let's take this movement into the dantian. So it's not now it's an internal movement. It's not even externally visible, but it's still there. It's either very small or it's just at an energetic level, if you can imagine that or feel that. And then revolve it the other direction. So now we're going the other direction. For me, it would be, if I was looking down at it, it would be a clockwise. Wait, come back, Benu. Benu, come here. Benu. Oh, we lost Benu. So then take it out of the dantian, make it an external movement again. But it's still originating there. It's just expanding outward. So we're thinking about the moon, so you could imagine the moon orbiting this dantian, or the earth would be the dantian and the moon is orbiting around it. It's still tied to the earth, even though it's much larger. So you can imagine a movement originating in the dantian and extending out as wide as you want, right? So if we were, and we can go in any axis, we can rotate in any axis we want. So if we were to do that original movement we were doing, I'll show you. We haven't done this in a while, but we got plenty of time. It's like barely 6 o'clock. So let's finish this up though. Hands back on the knees. So then we use this extra stability to just go deep into the pelvic floor. All right. So, what? How about 2 more of these? You could even do like a Kegel, for lack of better explanation. Coco, what's going on, Coco? Yeah, good girl. How you feeling? You look terrible, Coco. Yeah, you do. Sorry. So yeah, I was going to show you dantian rotation in another axis. Okay, so if we went back to this wave motion, okay, so I would feel chi. So as we go back, feel chi coming up from the earth, up your back, over the crown of the head, and then down the front of your body, into the earth, underneath you, and back up. So that's what you're feeling then, right? So you're no longer feeling this bending and flexing of the spine. It's wherever you put your mind is what you'll feel. So forget about your spine for a moment and feel that chi running up and over and down. And then it can go as high as you want. So it can go up to the sky, down into the earth, way down into the earth, back up. So you can extend it out, and you can actually extend it to other people. Now, Banu is like a block away now. How does that help us? Hey! All right, let's fold our legs the other way. This is just great. He's like a block away. That's just so wrong. What happened was, oh, Rita, what's the matter, Rita? I didn't let him out last night because of the fireworks, and now they're all just, the cats are real rowdy. So we'll have to stick with chickens, but you got your money's worth. You've already seen a couple of cats, so I don't know. I can round them up later. Anyway, if they go away. What you got, Rita? Let's sit tall. We'll do. Oh, wait. No, let's walk forward again. Okay. What did you find, Rita? Huh? Yeah, my back is so inflexible. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here. It's just sad. But yoga is restorative. It's not always feats of strength. It can help us, it can cure us and restore us. And we're always looking for ways to modify our practice, either bring it down a bit or bring it up depending on your mood and abilities. Okay, let's walk our hands back up. Now we'll just do some of our twist here. I'm lengthening my poor spine upward. Take a deep breath, exhale, twist to one side. And then back here. People like to bring their arms overhead at their center point. So, also for people who might be new, this is also a Kundalini movement, but we're not doing it in the full Kundalini method with explosive breathing. And we're not going fast, we're just using it to warm up. We're doing it more like Qigong, right? Up, baby monster's over there with Banu, about a block away. Good job. Worthless cats, man. Well, at least we have chickens, right? You can't even see the chickens. We have 3. You might be able to see 1 if you're lucky. So let's just come back to center. One time. Baby monster is rolling in the dirt. She's going to be filthy the next time you see her. Oh man, what a mess. All right. So you can shake your legs out now. And we'll do our first real moon pose. We'll do a flat crescent moon twist. So the crescent is formed by placing your knee in your instep, and then this is the tip of the crescent moon, or one of the tips of the crescent moon, down here. And then to make the other, we'll walk our hands around here. And we're going to go back and forth. So the first time, do almost nothing. Just a little twist. So in this case, this hand might be the other tip of the crescent, or the direction of my eyes could be the other tip of the crescent. Alright, let's come back around. Watch my feet. I can bring my legs to the other side without moving my feet at all. I just flip my legs over and my knee will fit right into this spot here, and I walk my hands around this way. Come on, you guys. So we'll go back to the other side. And then this time, now that we know what we're doing, when you come around, if you like, okay, don't twist so far, but you can let yourself down to your elbows if you want. And this time my elbow is the tip of the crescent moon. And you can come down to one elbow or both elbows, but be careful of too much twist in here. When you drop down, you increase the twist, so be super careful. All right, take one more breath down here. And then slowly come up and around again. Don't do anything with your feet. Around to the other side, walk the hands around. So untwist a little bit, and then you can drop down. All right, take another breath down here, and then slowly walk your hands back up and around. Okay, good. What'd you find, Rita? Find anything good? Let's see, how about, our first goddess pose will be dedicated to the goddess Tara. Okay, get out of here. You gotta move now. Move, Rita. Jeez. Wait, I'm sorry. Tara asana is with the soles of the feet together. And it's not a cobbler pose, so just grasp your ankles and just gently ease over. So again, very yin. It's not a masculine pose like cobbler. Tara is the queen of all the goddesses. Very important. So I'm barely doing anything on account of my back, but you could be further forward if you wanted to. Now oh, here comes baby. She's on the wrong side of the fence though. That's just sad. Let's, then we can do another lotus pose. I'll turn sideways, or at least obliquely. We can do a floating lotus balance. So you don't have to turn. I'm gonna thread my hands through this diamond, grasp the ankles here and here, and then tip back, find my balance. Once I've got my balance, I'm gonna try to make my lotus flower. Oh, this hurts my back. So I can't, okay, I'll do the best I can. So to make the lotus flower look pretty with the palms up, lift the chest, flatten the back actually, not like mine. This looks terrible. Hey, she's on the wrong side of the fence. Come here, baby. Come here. What are you doing over there? Oh, jeez. No, no, no. Guys, get out of here. Hey, Coco. What's going on, Coco? What'd you find? Huh? What'd you get, Coco? Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna move a little bit so you can see my hands for the next pose. We're going to do a kneeling half moon and crescent moon. So crescent moon and half moon from kneeling. Okay. So make sure that maybe double up your mat so that your knees are comfortable, because we'll be kneeling for quite some time. And I'm going to come up to here, about right up to here. Okay. So you can just mirror. No, don't do that. You can just mirror what I'm doing. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to bring one leg out. Okay. And then one arm down. Come over. So this is our kneeling half moon. Wonderful side stretch. So to emulate the balance that we're going to do later, we'll take another breath here, get that full side stretch. I don't mean to rush you. And then you can go to here. You can lift the leg, and then if you want, you can look up at your hand. See, I'm already getting the sun in my face. This is why we can't do standing poses out here. One more breath here, and then I'm gonna reach up, pull myself all the way over to kneeling crescent moon. This is also our kneeling gait, but it definitely has a crescent moon energy in it. Just depends on what tradition you're looking at. One more breath here. Getting the whole side stretch here. Pull everything back to center. The other leg extends out. This hand goes down. This is half moon. Over to here. So to emulate that half moon balance, the arm goes up, the leg comes up, and then finally look up at your hand. Oh, that's cool. We have a pigeon directly above us, which means there's no hawks in the area. Breath, and then here I come up into the blazing morning sunlight, up and over. I got my knee is on some stones here, so I'm readjusting. There we go. That's much better. Now we got sparrows flying in. Everybody's comfortable again. That probably means baby monster left. Oh, look at that. So Becky was gone. I didn't even notice that. I think Becky just laid an egg. Well, good for her. Or maybe she's just thinking about it. All right. One more breath here. Then we'll come down. So I think I'm gonna move back over to where I was, find a better spot, and we'll come into our squat of the week. So let me kind of figure out a better spot for this squat, and we'll do that. So then we'll do our squat of the week, and our squat of the week is another goddess pose. So you may have heard of these goddess poses, but they never specify. It takes a lot of research to figure out which goddess the poses are actually dedicated to. So this will be a goddess called Lajja Gauri. So it's a wide-legged squat, and the elbows are on the knees, the hands are up here. So we do this one because in iconography, her hands are lotus flowers and her head is a lotus flower, and she happens to be naked. It's a really ancient fertility goddess, but extremely popular in ancient times, so much so that there were cults dedicated just to her, which happens often if a god gets enough popularity. So that's enough. Let's hold the ground and press up to a hanging forward bend. Relax here. So let's walk our feet out a little wider into straddle. Relax here some more. I'm going really slow, you guys, this morning. This has turned into back care yoga class. Let's why don't we walk our hands over towards one foot? You can mirror what I'm doing, or if you want to follow exactly, this is my left foot. I'm keeping this leg straight just for now. Even if it means I can't get my hands over to my foot, the leg should be straight. It's not a big deal, but it's something. Okay, now I can pivot around and bend this knee at last and come into lunge as best I can. All right, then we'll do... Whoa! Fauna! Oh my God. All right, Fauna just laid an egg. And she's telling the whole neighborhood about it. Fauna! All right, drop down. We'll do our classic crescent moon. Flatten this foot out. And then I'm gonna come up really slow, you guys. Okay, I'm also gonna walk this foot over to my left to broaden this base out a little bit for more balance, easier balance. Come up to here. So even in the old yoga books, crescent moon is very often shown. Come here, Fauna. Come here. It's shown like this, but you could also go up to here. You can't see my... I'll move over. So, here she comes. There's a good Fauna. Come here, Fauna. So you should get more of a bend here than I have. So you want to have a little more back bend than I do. But this is basically it. One more breath here. And then hands down to here. And then I'm going to work my way back down. Okay. Going to curl my toes under. Press up to lunge. Back to straddle. And then I'm going to come over to this side again, only coming as far over as I can with the leg straight and with the feet still pointing towards you. Then I can pivot around fully into lunge. I'm going to drop that back knee down. Here we go again. I'm going to walk my foot over. And I'm going to, for me, I'm going to climb up. But you could just press this leg and this foot into the earth, and that should float you up to here. I had to climb up on account of my back. And this is a perfectly good crescent moon here. I'm going to hold this for a couple of breaths to prepare to come up higher. And then up higher. See, I'm getting the sun right in my face. This is why we're going to go into the dojo in a moment. One more breath. And down to here. Back down to here. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, there was a hawk. Hawk just went over the... Yeah, that's why they all left. That was great. A hawk just went over and they caught that. Even baby saw it. Oh, you guys, that's great. They're pretty alert. So where were we? Oh yeah, I'm gonna come up to lunge and back to straddle. That's amazing. I want to review the video and see, because a hawk just swooped over. So baby's actually aware of the hawks too. Remember one day she wouldn't come into the dojo. She wouldn't come over to the dojo, and she kept looking up at the sky, and then I looked, and there was a hawk up in the sky, and so I had to carry her over to the dojo. Yeah, I know. So stay in your straddle. Oh, I just heard the hawk. Did you hear that? So we could do, this is a chance to do your headstand, or just walk your feet further apart, or just relax here, or you could drop down to your elbows. Baby's kind of in my way here. Aww. What you doing, baby? So whatever you're doing, we're going to come up to standing and do our standing poses. But we're going to go to the dojo, because you saw I got the sun right in my face when I came up. And it's barely, not even 7 yet. But that's the way it is. So we're going to slowly work our feet back to center. Pivoting. She just stepped in chicken poo. She hates that. She hates it. That's so funny. You can check that on the video. She's just disgusted by it. She hates these chickens, man. She hates them. She didn't do anything to you. Come here, baby. Baby, come here. Come here. Not you. Stay away. All right. Let's come up to standing, and we'll head to the dojo. Everybody be friends again. All right. You probably won't even be able to see my head as I leave. So anyway, so we'll take a water break, and then we'll go to the dojo, do some standing poses. See you shortly. All right. Here we are at the dojo. And baby's here. Come here, baby. She's all dirty. She's been rolling in the dirt. She likes to make me have to sweep up here. Let's see, what were we doing? We're going to do our standing poses. We've got some great ones here for you. First of all, everyone's least favorite. It fits our Lotus theme. It is the Lotus kick from Tai Chi, known as wind sweeps the lotus. So if there's new people who haven't done this, let me just explain it from scratch. It's almost better for yogis than it is for Tai Chi people, because yogis are always twisting. You don't understand. When you're holding a twist, you're using muscles to hold that twist. So we're building up these muscles that twist us back and forth. And so in Tai Chi, we use this, even though we're not building those muscles up. There's a movement in Tai Chi where we reach in one direction, kick in the other, and then which causes a twist, and then we untwist, and that draws the wind over the lotus. So the foot is the lotus, and the hands are the wind, and we reach in this direction. And if you try to do it with this foot, it'll never work. You have to do it. So I'm facing obliquely away from you. This happens to be my right leg. These are both my right and leg arms. So it has to be the leg closest to you. Okay, so this is also qualifying as a balance, obviously. Let's see if we can kick and then just sweep the wind across the lotus. Okay, so I'm doing this with a bad back, so I'm not going to be able to touch my toes with my fingers, but you can try if you want. Oh man, woo. Oh, that's not good for the back. It's not good for my back, it's good for your back. Okay, so I'm doing it from the other side. We only do it on one side in the Tai Chi form. All right, here we go. So reach this way, kick that way, and then everything will untwist. Good enough. One more time. Okay, I'm not going to be able to touch my toes with my fingers. There's no way. All right, good enough. Excellent. So let's do Mother Saraswati on her giant lotus flower. That's why we include it here. Come here, baby. What are you doing? Standing off in the corner. That's no good. Hang on. So remember, according to the rules of cat yoga, if she strikes a pose, we will have to drop down and emulate that pose no matter what it is. So watch for her to strike a pose. If she stays with us, let's see. So where were we? Saraswati, goddess of education, the arts, music. So she's depicted on this, floating on this giant lotus flower, again, symbol of cosmic wisdom and knowledge. So she's on her giant floating lotus flower, and she's holding her vina, which is like a little sitar. So if this is my right hand, then I'm going to use my right foot to curtsy. They have this curtsying tradition in India, same as we have in the West, although it may mean something completely different. I have no idea. And then in our yoga pose, if you want to bring that foot back diagonally away from you, not straight back, but diagonally back, you can, and sink into this leg. There's no weight in that foot, it's just steadying you. Okay, and again today my excuse is my back, so I can't go down very far, but it's not a full squat. Let's take a deep breath and exhale and press back up. Okay, do the other side, just switch hands. If this is my left hand, this will be my left foot in a simple curtsy, or back further, it's completely up to you. Sink down gently, always sink straight down, we're never bending forward. Big deep breath here, exhale, press up through this leg. All right, so that's Saraswati, and as I mentioned, to, sorry, let's see, maybe she'll tear this to pieces today. Is that catnip? That can't be catnip. Is that catnip? No, it can't be. She wishes it was. It looks like it's time for, well, let's put off our balance after one more pose. I have another pose for you from the world of Tai Chi, which you're going to love. And this has our moon theme in it. It also has our cat theme in it. And this pose looks a lot more like yoga than it does like Qigong. It comes from the 8 brocades of silk system of Qigong, very popular, also known as 3 hearts, 9 gates, I believe. And it's almost static, so it's almost like yoga. I'll turn slightly oblique. I don't know whether to face you or go completely sideways, so I'll split the difference and I'll just go 45 degrees away from you. So it's called Cat Gazes at the Moon. All right. Oh, she didn't just strike a pose, did she? All right, keep an eye on her. All right. Anyway, so it's called Cat Gazes at the Moon. My hands are on my thighs. And then I'm just going to sort of push into my thigh to stretch here. And I'm looking over my shoulder. In the Chinese tradition, you can just go back and forth. In the Chinese tradition, you almost never, in Qigong, you don't look straight at the moon. You always look at it over your shoulder, and I wish I knew why. I have no idea why. I would maybe need a time machine to figure it out, but all the Qigong that refers to gazing at the moon is always looking at it over your shoulder, so it has this twisting. The essence of the movement is a twist. So this is a twist with a stretch. And believe me, this is rare. We don't normally anchor ourselves here and use leverage to twist ourselves. There are some pretty strenuous twists in Qigong, but not using your body as a lever. So this is really good. I added this because on account of my back. This feels really good on my back, you guys. So thanks for doing this with me. Cat gazes at the moon. Oh man, that feels great. One more to each side. And then we will do our big balance of the day. So start thinking about your balance. Are you going to go find a chair? Or are you going to go to the wall? Start thinking about, we're doing our half moon balance here at the moment. All right, well, that's great. And even from here, my back is so bad, I'm going to keep my knees bent to come up. Oh, man. Woo! But remember, yoga and Tai Chi are both restorative, so I rarely stop my practice, because if I get a little sick or have some aches and pains, I would just modify my practice. Practice helps you, it doesn't hurt you, right? I mean, I'm not a doctor, always ask your doctor, but in most cases, like I could do my Tai Chi and only expend 1 calorie. I could do it in my sleep, right? So, and some of my yoga, if we do our yoga in a meditative yin fashion, it doesn't require much energy, and it moves, it allows chi to flow, or prana, in the case of yoga, prana to flow freely through the body, which you need for healing, right? So let's do our half moon balance, and I'll talk you through it. Every way of cheating we can, or every way of helping ourselves we can, right? So, before we begin our balance, just appreciate the stability here. That's not a yoga pose, is what she's doing, is it? Doesn't really count. Tell you what, if she's still doing that when we're done with our half moon balance, we'll drop down and do that also. All right, so let us, well, you guys can just mirror me. Doesn't matter which direction you go. I'm going to go over this way. First thing I'm going to do, which is a cheat, is to bend this knee. And then I'm going to place my hand here, which is also a cheat. Just this here lowers my center of gravity quite a bit. It's not just the 10 pounds of my arm going down 1 foot. It's mentally, I'm bringing my mind lower, right? So remember, where you bring your mind is really important. And then I'm going to slowly bring this hand down. So I'm not cartwheeling. In fact, me today, I'm going to climb up. Big cheat here. Today I'm going to start with both hands down. So this is a major cheat, okay? Don't let your other teachers see you do this. I'm going to come all the way down with both hands, sort of like a lunge, right? Okay, now I'm ready to go. You guys only have one hand down, and I'm going to come up. So I'm going to press up. That's stage one. There she goes. That leaf must have been catnip, or she found some residue. Uh-oh, don't destroy the notes. Please don't. And then this hand goes up, or the arm goes up. Final thing, and don't ruin it, is to look up at your hand. So if that's too much, skip it. And it might be better, see, to look straight at me here, because then your spinal cord is in perfect alignment. If I look up, I'm adding this weird twist. Okay, so it almost might be better just to look straight forward here and keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. That's good enough. So for me, I'm going back down to here. You guys can come up as gracefully as you want, but I'm climbing back up on account of my back. But don't feel bad for me, because this is very humbling. It's very good. Oh no! She tore my notes in half. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, there's such a thing as tape. Oh geez, can you see her off camera? She's just chewing on it. Wait, you guys stay. No. Oh, it's completely chewed up. All right. Good thing we're nearly done with our standing poses. You just have to do the other side. And she sees the other half. Uh-oh. She sees the leaf. She's sticking with the leaf now. Okay. And again, if she's doing any kind of pose after we're done here, we're going to emulate whatever she's doing. So let's turn both feet to the other direction. Bend that knee. Hand here. Now, if I'm going with both hands down, I don't need this hand here, right? But think about where you're going to land here, and then I'm going to lower myself down. Gently. Press up. So take this hand off center, over to here. If you see that, so this is center. I'm going over to this side of my center, even with two hands, because two hands is going to turn into one hand. I press up. I straighten the knee. The knee's not really completely locked out, even though the leg is straight. And then this hand goes up, and then maybe look up at your arm. Uh-oh. That was too much. That kind of ruins it, so I'm just going to look straight out. So that's about good enough. So I'm coming back down. You guys could go gracefully floating back up. I'm going to climb back up. So now you see, so now I've made it even easier. That was about as easy as it gets. And the only way to make it easier is to go to the wall, but you still might use those other instructions even with the wall. The wall is for your balance. Those moves are for other issues. Okay, so now she left. Come here, come back. Come here. Okay, before we release, pull the arms back, open the chest. Okay, so except for our crescent moon pose, this is our only big heart opener. So let's even have the palms facing forward and then pull the hands back. Really get a good heart opener, because when the arms are straight up, you're not opening the heart in the same way as they are when they're out to the sides. And then even maybe face the palms up. So roll the palms facing up, please. Big heart and chest opener. This also feels really good on my back. All right, she's coming back. Come here, baby. Last chance for a true cat yoga pose. Come here. She's not cooperating. Tell you what, you guys hold this pose. I'm going to see if I can tempt her with a treat. Stay in that pose. Stay. There's a treat. Okay, one more breath. And then, she doesn't see it. It's right there. Come into center. Come here. Come here, babe. Treat. All right, maybe she'll roll over or do some sort of cat thing. Come on. Do a pose. Do something. She's not going to do anything. Okay, we're back, everybody. We're going to come back down to the ground and do some more poses down here. So come to a hanging forward bend at the back of your mat, because this set is more yin again, so we're not going to be jumping around or anything like that. So we're in a hanging forward bend. And then just walk your hands out into downward facing dog. Apparently we've lost baby monster again. Oh well. So another goddess pose, if you're up for it. We can lift one leg, and this is dedicated to Lakshmi, goddess of wealth, prosperity, beauty. So this is not the one where we bend the leg or roll the hip out. We're keeping the hips level. So by level, I mean flat across there. And then the leg is relatively straight, even if I can't lift it up as high, because I know I'm not lifting my leg up very high at all. It's as high as I can, so it feels high, but it's not high at all. It's barely above horizontal, unfortunately. It's so sad, but we just do the best we can. Okay, so it would feel higher if I went like this, but don't do that. One more breath. Drop the chest, and then lower that leg. Try the other leg. Maybe the other leg will work better. You don't know. Oh, she came back. Good for you. That's courage, baby. All right, one more breath. Back down to downward facing dog. Yeah, you're a good girl. Aren't you a good girl? The chickens don't have anything against you, except for you tried to eat them when you were young. So the thing is, so they remember when she tried to eat them when they were young, but the truth is that if they found a kitten when it was just born, they would probably eat a kitten. So it's kind of like you can't really, it's just nature. One more breath here and drop down. Yeah, these chickens are real carnivores. Before I started the video, let's do some cat and cow. Before I started the video rolling, Becky caught herself a lizard, and it caused quite a commotion. They all chased her all around the yard trying to grab the lizard out of her mouth so that they could eat it, and they eventually kind of just tear it to pieces and share it, even though sharing it was not part of Becky's plan. But little pieces come off of lizards pretty easy. I'm sorry. It's just life. So this is the only set where I mention, when we're doing cat and cow, the divinity of the cow, and that a lot of these goddesses are thought to dwell in the cow, or in the dairy products, in the butter. Aditi comes to mind, probably Lakshmi, Saraswati. So that's our cat and cow. This feels good on my back, but I'm not moving my back very much. So speaking of Saraswati, let us do, and I've told you about the butter festival they have in India, where they build sculptures out of butter and then watch them melt in the sun, which shows the ethereal nature of life, how nothing is permanent. So let us do our Saraswati pose from down here. We did it standing up, now we'll do it down here. So you'll see the similarity. So in this case, we all better use the same arm and leg, because it's a little bit complicated. In fact, I'll turn around so I don't smush this poor cat. Okay. So we'll take this real slow, and there's a lot of good poses wrapped up in this pose, so we won't rush to the final pose. So let's start with our left hand and bring the left hand up. So this is a good pose right here. Just take one more breath, and then bring that hand back, reach back, 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 and now try to find your right foot. So this is my left hand, I'm looking for my right foot, and come into Virabhadrasana, which is a tiger pose, but that's not what we're doing, which is just to stop along the way. All right, so I'm going to take my right knee, bring it across my left leg, set the knee down, release the foot, it's diagonal, drop my arms down into a backwards L, and then slide my right leg back diagonally away from me, and drop my head, rest my head on my forearm. So that's that Saraswati holding her Veena in her curtsy And the whole works is floating on a giant lotus flower. How about one more breath down here? So before we rush to come up, in these awkward poses, you may think, how the heck am I going to get back up here? And we use our relaxation method, I think is superior to any other way. Instead of thinking your way through this, you let your body do what it knows how to do best. And so we know we want to come back up to hands and knees. So all we need to do is consciously relax. So at the moment of efforting, I choose to relax and just allow my body to just float back up to hands and knees. So it knew how to do it better than I did. I just needed to get out of my own way. So, and that metaphor works for life as well. There are a lot of things that you actually know how to do already. You just have to get out of your own way and let yourself do them. So let's take our right arm this time, reach up. Remember, this is a separate pose along the way. Let's start to reach back more. And then you can, this is my right hand up here, you can find your left foot and extend up in our tiger stretch. Then when you're ready, this left knee will come over the right leg. Set that knee down gently. Release the foot gradually. Now my leg is diagonally pointed away from me. Arms come into an L shape. I'm going to slide that leg back until I can just drop my head down onto my forehead, or however it works out for you. It's obviously a pose we don't do every day, so let everything kind of relax. The awkward poses that we don't do every day, your body is only trying to protect you by remaining tense. And the moment that your body feels that it's not being threatened, it will relax, right? So wait for that moment or encourage it to happen. As long as you don't feel anything bad about to happen, you can encourage your body to relax and just sink down into the pose. So if you had sciatica, this would be one, you'd want to do this one pretty often. Even the physical therapists I've talked to are not aware of this pose for sciatica. They make you do things with chairs and staircases and stuff, but this is a really good pose. And you'd want to ease into it, and you'd want to hold it for a considerable amount of time. If you can't get into this pose, you could actually have your physical therapist help you, right? Or a spotter, a friend. So again, we'll try coming up using the relaxation method. I'm not going to try to think about how I'm going to come up. I just know I need to get to hands and knees, and it's very important to relax. If you don't relax, it won't work, right? That's the whole key to what we're doing. So I relax and then just float back up to hands and knees, and then we'll just sit back in child pose. I'm going to find a clean spot to set my head down on. Relatively clean. So we'll do our rabbit pose. So we're going to roll forward onto the crown of the head, and then the classic is to reach back and hold your heels, and then another version, harder, is to walk. See, I'm walking my knees away from me, hold the ankles. And then another version, everybody's favorite, is to join the hands behind the back and make bunny ears here. And I was hoping if we came out here early enough that you'd still be able to see the moon on the horizon setting, so I could show you the rabbit in the moon. But next time you see a full moon, you'll see this rabbit, and it may be kind of crooked depending on your perspective or how you're envisioning it. All right. Hey, what just happened? Uh-oh, another hawk? Well, they all just left. Let's see if there's another hawk around here somewhere. Huh. I'll have to look at the video and see why all the chickens just left. Yeah, it could be another hawk. So, let us do our side pose, which is our half moon side bend. So remember this one? As long as baby's still here, it's still chicken and cat yoga. So the bottom leg's bent, but when I bend the leg, you have to resist the urge to come into a fetal position. I know this is almost in our DNA. So keep that leg back. Extend this top leg long. Everything's flat across here. Two-dimensional, like I was mentioning, the lunar asanas are very two-dimensional, meaning flat in the frontal plane. And then we'll press up and over. Inhale up and then exhale down. Well, thanks for staying with me, baby. It's just not the same without animals. Now when we practice in the park, it feels like it's not the same without animals, but we have a lot of birds in the park. That's really nice. We have an overabundance at the park where we practice, there's millions of hummingbirds, but no flowers. They're all getting their protein for the day, catching bugs on the wing. Amazing. They're getting their daily ration of little fleas and stuff like that. And then they go find nectar later on. And then we had a hawk catch a bird and dismember a bird right above us in our practice, and feathers raining down. So there's even some nature in the urban environment if you look for it. We can't kill everything, even though we've tried. So how about let's go up one more time and then hold at the top and breathe. So I'm higher than plank. I'm higher than a plank now, even though it doesn't look like it. And then let me get a better position for my elbow. Let's practice our half moon balance from down here. So up to here, and then here. Okay, so that's our half moon balance. I can look up at this hand if I want to be perfectly correct. All right. And then down. Great. So let's do the other side. Okay. Maybe you've already gotten into your pose and you're doing it. That's fine. I'll catch up. Inhale up. Exhale down. All right, how about one more? We'll hold at the top, continue to breathe. And then our half moon balance from down here. Okay, one more breath. And then down. Excellent. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Why don't we do an alternative to our corpse pose, which is another goddess pose. This is, some people just refer to this as generically goddess pose, but it's actually dedicated to Shakti. And Shakti, amongst other things, amongst other attributes, expresses the primordial feminine energy in the universe. So my legs are in a diamond shape. I'm going to lay back, placing one hand on my belly, feeling my breathing, and one hand on my chest, feeling my heart beating in my chest. And then just let gravity open the hips. Oh, come on. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. So later in Savasana, you can use this pose. Otherwise, you can do your normal corpse pose. If you like this one, it's got that hip opener. And it's very meditative because you can feel your heart rate dropping right as you're laying here. Feel your breathing coming back to normal. So see how we could just end here, but we won't end here. We'll hug our knees. As I mentioned in this set, it's like bookends. We end the way we began, we begin the way we end. So hug your knees, releasing tension in the lower back. God knows I need that. And then arms out to the sides, drop the knees to one side, head to the other. Make sure you don't see baby doing a pose, because if she does a pose we can all do, we'd have to strike that pose. That's the rule in cat yoga. But I don't really see her doing anything very interesting. Let's bring the knees over to the other side. Give me a little room here, girl. There you go. Sorry. Come back to center. Hug your knees one final time. So what we'll do as usual is I'll let you guys meditate with nature rather than with me. So I'll get you started and then get out of the way. And also normally we om when the moon is full. Well, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to om right into the camera. But you can. Oh, maybe I will. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll do it off camera. Maybe I'll see if I can get a decent om. Or maybe I'll find a recording of some oming for you to do. That might be a better idea. We'll think about it. Let's see what happens. She's in my way right now, so I can't really do like I normally collapse into Savasana. Hey, God, no. Boy, oh boy. I don't know where they were, but they're back with a vengeance. So this changes the whole demeanor. Okay, collapse into your corpse pose. Relax completely. Go into your favorite meditation, or just do long, even, natural breathing into your belly, just like an infant.